you'd be down there for like 3 hours waiting for them to come out with money, and then you're laying on. I literally have slept on $8 million before, just laying on it, just waiting to get released to come back home.
You are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
What was that night you came up to Erie and we went out? You dropped me off at the house, and you're like, I'm like, where are you going? You're like,
I'm going home. Yeah, I'm going home. Fuck that. That was a late one. No, that was an early one.
No. We closed that place down.
Yeah, that was a late one. So I can't be hanging out with you, dude.
That was fun.
I'll be fucking around like I'm 20-something again.
That was the night of the SWAT party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
It was.
So this is the one with Joe Makowski. Cop. I shouldn't even lead with that, but he partakes in some sort of law enforcement.
Yeah.
But entrepreneur, pilot, all around good friend. Started off as my instructor.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe that? You forget about that.
No, yeah, watch you transform, bro. Seriously.
What was that transformation? Like outside, because like I know what I was like thinking going in. My mind, I was like, fuck, I don't even know if I want to do this. I'm just keep my mouth shut and
when you see these, so I a little bit more backstory on my part. So I started teaching. It was like 2008. When did you go through?
15, bro.
So yeah, I started teaching at Academy in like 08, then 08. And you see these guys come through like yourself, and you never really know what they're gonna do. Are they just gonna take the career and be a policeman and just that's it, or are they gonna do something else? You never know what you're gonna get and what kind of return you're gonna get out of what you give these guys. So it was nice to see someone like yourself actually fucking do it and like embrace it, and then do all kinds of extra shit like this. So
yeah, it's been an interesting journey. And like going in, I never thought it'd be what I thought it was. I didn't think it was going to be what I thought at the time it was, right? But like you just realize cops are humans too, cool ass people, and the job you do is like it could be what you make of it, you know? Like that's the best way to put it.
It takes time after you've been on for a little bit. Like the first few years, you're really excited to do the job and get into there, and then you start to get into the politics. You're the police department. And then sometimes you get those guys that like year 5, 6, they get, we call them malcontent, where they're just pissed because they didn't get
off in life.
Yeah, they just pissed that they didn't get a promotion, or things aren't going the way they wanted to, or, personal shit. And then you get to like 10, 11, 12 years and guys are like, all right, I could see the end's coming, or not the end, but my career. And, or they're starting to get the things that they want, and then life just changes a little bit.
But you know how much time I still have left?
A lot more than me.
22 years.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, that makes me, I think my department's very facetious.
Am I allowed to swear and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they give you a paper at the end of every year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get those.
You get that. It's like, hey, this is how long
you can retire in 2037.
Yeah, it's like, this sounds horrible. Why are you giving me this? Fuck this place. No. But one thing I like to start with, like, kind of give a background. What got you into law enforcement, right? Because everyone goes in for different reasons. What was your, like, driving factor for law enforcement? Gotcha.
Yeah, so I had some different role models coming up. And when I was in high school, I'm like, my father owns a construction company, a very successful construction company. And I'm like, my whole game plan was to go into that, take over the company. Yep. Got out of high school, went to college for criminal justice. Of course, like every cop,
nerd.
Yeah, stupid.
What did you learn?
No.
How to not do
it was
job.
Like an extension of high school. And then got out. During that, and after I got out, I started doing construction with them. And then when I got out, I went out of town doing work out of town with them, and it was great. I made a lot of money because you had nothing to spend it on. You'd wake up, go to work, go back to the hotel room, repeat for 6 months.
Good way to save.
Yeah, your friends are calling you from back home. They're like, "Hey, we're going out tonight. We got so and so," and you're like, "Fuck no, dude, I'm 300 miles away. I'm out." So it gets on you, as a young person. So anyway, I kind of made that decision. Was like, this probably isn't. My dad loves that shit. He loved leaving for 3 to 6 months at a time, making a bunch of fucking money, and then not working for a couple months. And that was kind of the way he did it. And it just wasn't for me. So when I got back, I started. What the fuck did I do first? I delivered money for Loomis Fargo. We used to come down to Pittsburgh all the time, do the Federal Reserve run. Dude.
Wait, were you telling me a story where you're like in like regular ass cars?
Well, you would do both. Well, you come down in the big armor truck to come down to the Pittsburgh Fed to pick up a bunch of money. And I remember there'd be times you'd be down there for like 3 hours waiting for them to come out with money, and then you're laying on. I literally have slept on $8 million before, just laying on it, just waiting for to get released to come back home. The epiphany I had was we were doing ATM machines in State College, and the truck broke down, and I had to ride in the back of the truck on a tow truck all the way back to fucking Erie, and I was like, I ain't doing this shit no more. This is stupid. So I had to
be surrounded by money.
It was cool.
Not your money.
Well, no, you sit and you think about how you can get away with stealing it every day. That's literally what you think about. Because sometimes you're not driving, so you're just, hanging out. So then I went to the police academy. So I didn't go right after college, so it took me a year or two of not really finding what I was.
So you were working construction.
Yeah.
Took criminal justice, not knowing that you wanted to be a cop.
Well, nobody really tells you have to go to the police academy in PA to become a cop. I just thought like I would get hired somewhere and that would be it. I mean, I shouldn't say that because there is some departments that send you and have their own academies like Allegheny and shit like that. So Pittsburgh.
Oh, so you thought you'd do this just in case you wanted to be a cop? Like, did it? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know. It was weird. So, yeah, it was.
I can tell. What type of child you were.
So then I went to work at the county. I went to academy. Got out of the academy. I went to work at the county prison, which I got along better with some of the inmates than I did the guys I had to work with. It was fucking weird there. I did that for less than a year. Got my first job at a college, Gannon University PD, and then a small department, Wesleyville PD, part time. Then I went down to Meadville, which is is between here and Erie, full time, and then back to Wesleyville. Then I got my full time appointment in 2010. So that's where I've been since. Does that answer your question?
You worked at a lot of small ones, and then you got to the one you're at now.
Correct.
And like it's a good department. Not only usually you get guys and girls who like join a department, and then that's it, right? But like now you're a part of like you're top of the bargaining unit.
Yeah.
Or is that what you guys call it?
Yeah. So we have our own bargaining units, our own association. It's kind of part with the FOP, but we do our own thing. And I've moved around 2016 or 2017. I got under the unit, and now I'm the secretary of the unit. And I love it, dude. I really,
you like get your rocks off when you're talking about it.
I do.
I be a lawyer.
It's crossed my mind, but I love my job. I love like going against the politics, or I love when guys are like, hey, these are the kind of raises we want, these are the kind of benefit packages we want. I love kind of like trying to put it all together and in the presentation and give it to them, and then when you get the objections, being able to overcome the objections, I love that stuff.
So you belong in a courtroom, essentially.
I wouldn't say that, but when I do have to prosecute my own cases, I think I do a pretty good job. Like I object. Seriously, yeah. Have you ever objected in court?
Me personally, no. I've had it done for me
against you.
Against me all the time, actually. And like I remember the first time I ever had a hearing. They objected, and I kept talking for like. I said like 2 extra words, and the fucking attorney, bro, almost jumped out. He kept talking. I'm like, I don't know what. This is my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I've been a cop for less than a year.
Yeah,
dude. I forget what it was. A DUI. It was a fucking DUI. I object, and I was like, and he took the keys out of the ignition. He's like, I objected. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, okay, dude? I'm from the street.
Is this district court or is this like a trial?
It was a prelim.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Calm down, dude.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that serious.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's here. Every other department's just sitting there waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
It's like we called it Central Court where I was at. I'm like, bro, why is he about to jump out of his chair? Dude, from that
He's
day.
watching too much TV.
Well, I didn't watch enough TV apparently to know what an objection was at that time.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm just gonna make sure I never have another fucking hearing. So I put a lot of info in my criminal complaints, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's too much." I'm like, since that day, I've never had someone have a hearing.
I teach it now too, and when I do when I'm hiring or when we have new guys, it's like I'll put almost my entire report right in the affidavit.
No surprises.
Because they're going to get it anyway.
Yeah, no surprises.
Yeah, and they look at it and they're like, yeah, well, fuck, we probably shouldn't. He's got us wrapped.
Cuddy was one of the guys who told me. He's like, hey, dude, just put as much info as you can. That way, it leaves nothing for interpretation.
Yeah, why? What's the point? There's guys that are like, oh, you don't put that in, don't do this. Like what for? It's all public record.
Yeah, and they're going to get the copy of the report anyway.
Yeah, just be done with it.
Yeah, and then normally I don't have hearings. Once I charge.
Yeah.
And we go through court, I never hear about it again. Either whether it goes to ARD, whatever happens, or they plea. I'm just like, not my problem anymore. But you were involved in different units at your department. So what was the thing that got you to want to branch out? Because a lot of people are comfortable with just being on patrol, showing up and leaving.
So I had I had a lot of different kind of like role models coming up, and one of them, he told me, put in for everything. When there's an opening, put in for it. And it's kind of like you'd rather say no than not have the opportunity to say no.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And I tell these guys that now, I'm like, would you rather put in for it, interview for it, and then decide if you want to do it or not? Because you're never going to know. Because it's the second you don't put in for something, they're like, oh, you would have got it if you would have put in for it.
Or you start thinking like, man, I would have had it. I should have. Or like, what if I would have gotten it?
Or only like 3 other dudes put in for it, and they're all dopes,
Well, I just went through that with SWAT, right? Like I've been trying, then I fucked up my knee.
Yeah.
I was still in PT. My therapist is like, I don't know if you should be, like, we're not on the running program yet, and you're going to go out and do this test.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if I already missed it last year because I got injured, I'm going to miss it this year. Dude, next year, like, that's too far away. Like, I need to do it now.
Yeah.
So we do an in-house first, right? So I'm running the first portion. I fucking pass, but my whole leg is numb. I can't feel my knee. And they're like, now we're doing the sprint. And then we go back to back. And as we're walking to the sprint, I'm like, dude, I'm just going to fucking bow out, which is not in my character, right? I had a bitch moment. And I own it, right? I have a bitch moment. And the dudes I work with who are also testing look at me and they're like, what? I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fucking even step on it. Like, I can't feel it. It's asleep. And they're like, bro, what's the worst that happens? You fail. At least you know you have an answer. Or you never know if you were going to pass.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, fuck it, dude. I'll let my leg fall off. And I passed. So then comes, it was like a week later was the actual test, and I'm fucking sore. I'm hurting. My knee is like throbbed. They're like, my therapist is like trying to bring swelling down. He's like, hey, you passed it once. You can pass it again. I was like, motherfucker, you were telling me not to do it. Now I'm looking for you to give me an excuse, and you're saying just do it.
Yeah.
I ran it past, and I'm fucking glad I did.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, are you glad?
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Like, I had a moment where I would have been pissed at myself because I bowed out. And these dudes, luckily I work with awesome fucking dudes. They're like, bro, like, just take it.
Put your big pants on.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck it. Fucking ran it past, and by the end I'm like, damn, I fucking made it.
Yeah.
So when that's you good. Have, and that's kind of a culture you adopted more recently, you said, as we were talking earlier, you said the yes culture. Just do it.
That comes later.
Yeah, but
like, so there's a story for that. Yeah. So back to taking a different job. So like, I became a taser instructor. Then I became an FI. What else tell you? So I could do DT, PT, all that shit. And when the CNT thing came up, they had a class scheduled. The FBI was coming up to do a negotiator school. And they were like, okay, this is the dates. I had a vacation schedule. I'm like, they're never gonna fucking pick me. I can't even go to the class. So there was like 3 or 4 of us that put in for it. And they called me at home. They're like, hey, we want you to go, or we were selecting you for CNT. This is before becoming team leader and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, what about the class? I can't go. They're like, yeah, we don't care. We'll send you the next one. I was like, that made me feel fucking pretty cool. Like either the rest of the guys were just that dopey or they really liked me. One of the two. So then I got on. I've had a couple cool experiences doing it. Got to go to this FBI school later on. And then the year before last, about a year and a half ago, this team leader stepped down. And the chief called me and was like, hey, we want you to do it. And I'm like, you don't tell the chief no. So I wasn't technically the next guy in line, seniority-wise. But, again, it made me feel really great.
Yeah, you're like, the opportunity's there.
I can't say no.
I'm going to take
it. As much as, like, I didn't want to hurt anybody on the team by passing them, when's that opportunity going to come again?
Well, and, like, the way I look at it, anyone else offered that's probably going to do, right? Unless you're being an asshole about it and skipping the line or kissing ass, for, as they say in the departments, using your knee pads.
Yeah.
Like, but if an opportunity presents itself, anyone would take it.
And they've let me do some great things. I've trying to get. I got the team to get more training, monthly training. Before we got like maybe twice a year. Now we got monthly training. I got us a command post, like a mobile command post. A lot of cool shit is happening for us now.
Like a bread truck.
It's a bus, actually, that we converted into a command post. But it works out good.
That's pretty sweet.
We got the DA's office to hook us up with some money to get the new negotiator comms equipment. I mean, it's pretty incredible shit that we can do.
You guys still using throw phones?
We have a throw phone, but the one that we have now is, like I said, we just upgraded all our equipment. And it records everything, timestamp, it does all this great shit. And then the throw phone itself, before it was just, you pick up the phone and talk to whoever's there. This thing got cameras all over it, PA system, microphones. So it's almost something worth deploying in any occasion just to get eyes and ears in a room. You can just chuck it through a window. Whether they pick it up or not, it's doing its thing.
It's like, I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah. No,
you don't have to talk back, but I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because they just wouldn't answer the phone before.
Now you can just talk. And we were playing with it in the station one time, and we had it out in the hallway while we were in a room, and you can hear conversations fucking 20, 30 feet down the hallway. So
is it ever
fun?
Oh yeah,
we can hear people talking shit.
Side of the building?
Yeah, we hear people talking.
What's the throw phone doing here?
Yeah. Hi.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah.
And what was one of the roles you've leaned in most in your law enforcement career? Like you said, you did taser, firearms, defensive tactics, PT, CNT, which is crisis negotiation. What's the one that's kind of obviously CNT because you're still doing it?
Yeah.
But what's one that hit home for you that you enjoyed the most?
So I started teaching in 2008 at our police academy, and I really love researching information and regurgitating it to the way that I think people can accept it. The culture of policing has changed, as you know. The way people learn has changed. It's not, here's the information, take it. Now, one of the theories that we're building in, and I created an FTO school that we put on.
That's like the one you send me.
Yeah. It's like the FTO leadership school, and we're trying to teach these up-and-coming FTOs a couple things. We have to get better at firing, not hiring, because you're never going to know if a cop's going to be a good cop until they're actually doing it, right? You can do all the backgrounds you want, talk to the guy. We've done that, and they're like, this guy's fucking awesome, and they turn out to be shitty cops. Not like they're doing anything wrong. They're just not cutting it,
Yeah, I mean, it requires a certain level of wherewithal, and I think the culture has always been like, well, you can't fire him now.
And it's actually a lot more complicated, and I've looked at this, and I've discussed it with our unions and stuff like that. What happens is we get into this, like, lack of a better term, circle with a guy you hire. All right, they're like, oh, we bought him uniforms, armor, we got $10,000 worth of training time into them. We have to try to work it out. And, you have that 12-month or 6-month probationary period, whatever you guys have set up. That's the time you have to test this guy. And you get to, like, month 10, you're like, hey, he ain't cutting it. it's just ain't in the cards for you. But the departments they get into this lock where if they let them go, their department, the politics of it, or the politicians go, well, you didn't need them, so why would we replace them? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're almost.
And there's a fear that, well, if you went this whole time training, because technically they're not part of manpower, you went this whole time training and you fired them, for your complement's 20 guys and now you have 19. They're like, well, you're doing it with 19, no problem. We don't need to hire anybody else. So there's this fear that if you let a guy go, they won't replace him.
I think it's a legitimate fear.
It
a
is.
lot of departments
It
are
is.
saying
It is. And it's
especially now where no one wants to be a cop. It's like,
yeah, it is. And I thought it was coming back. I thought the wave was coming back because you get to see the numbers, and when we do the testing, the police test, and we do the academy introductions and stuff, and it looked like it was starting to swing back, but it's not. It's still
what's
down.
the typical class look like now?
What was it when you went through?
Dude, it was like 51 and I guess 45.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Ended up being like 45.
It was actually hard to teach that many people at once, but this next class we're putting on has 15 dudes in it. 15 dudes and I think one chick maybe.
That's wild.
It is. It's a shame.
And then it's like,
because it's not a bad paying job.
no, well, especially now, like it's picking up. It's depending on the area you're in.
Yeah.
You can make a good living off of it.
No, and I even tell people whenever I'm trying to get people to work, I'm like, what? There's not many jobs left to have a pension, and you can retire when you're 50.
Start a whole new career.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
And not only that, like you're not in an office.
No.
You're in a car. Basically, I mean, I like to think most departments are like this, but you kind of get to just go do your own thing as long as you're not being a dumbass.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no one's really over your shoulder until you get into the department, and then all the micromanaging happens.
Yeah.
But day to day, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can do what you want.
Yeah, you can go out and bust balls and harass the public, or
We don't do that. We're trying to build law enforcement here.
okay, harass the criminals.
Yeah.
Right. Or just do some patrolling and showing people that you're around. I mean, that's, kind of circling back to where you're talking about what I like to focus on at work is, when I got promoted, I was doing FTO. And then the way ours is structured, once somebody replaces, or I'm sorry, the next guy gets in, I get moved up and I'm not doing FTO work anymore, but I still get to kind of oversee it a little bit. I love showing our guys you got to remind guys who you work for. All right. Does that make sense? And take them into these neighborhoods, because you have these guys that'll just hit the main roads and never take a loop through a neighborhood. And just remember, point out, walking around, wave to people, even if they don't wave back to you. Just be like, these are the people that are paying for you to be here. And trying to remind guys that I think is important. Because there's always traffic. There's always stops.
Dude,
there's always drugs.
I hate traffic.
I know they're always going to take a drug dealer off the street, and there's always going to be one there to replace them. So that's always going to be there. But we can't forget about, again, the people that are paying you to be there, and just being fucking nice to people sometimes. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to remind people, or especially new guys, that sometimes they're running a gun and it's not always there. An hour a month you might get to do that. The rest of the time is.
Yeah, and that's the majority of the stuff you're going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
And if you don't establish those connections.
And get good at it.
Yeah, if you don't establish those connections, your job is hard.
Talk to a stranger.
Dude, I love talking to people, bro. Like, I'll find myself at the local sheets for like 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, shit, I should probably
just talk to somebody.
I should probably get back on the road. And how's your experience been as a CNT with the SWAT team? Like, how does that, because then that's something like outside of patrol. It's a whole different like element.
Yeah.
How's that been? And
we're a tier 3 team, so we're not full time. We still have our regular patrol activities, and then if something pops off, if we're off duty, they call us in. If we're there, we go. And I've had some pretty cool experiences where negotiating in a bathroom through a wall with people, that are holding themselves hostage essentially. And, and you got guys, the SWAT guys are in the other room and they're getting fucking, because it's like 2 or 3 hours into this, and you're trying to work your hardest to make a conversation to get this guy to give up. And they're in there like, and the guy goes, "What's that?"
You're like, you just undid everything I fucking did.
2 seconds. Yeah, it's over. So it's fun. Our guys are great. And now, like I said, we're doing better as a team, I think, than they had in the past. collectively, but there's always, hurdles. And
It's so funny you mentioned that. It wasn't a SWAT call, but we have this 17-year-old kid who's autistic. He's like 6'4", 290.
He's a brute.
Dude, mean dude, right? He's standing in his lawn. And like, for some reason, I can always connect with him. I'm talking to him like, hey, like, just get down. Like, he just beat his mom, broke the car, broke the phone, like, very violent encounter. But he's in the yard now, just standing there. I'm talking to him. He's like, nope, shoot me. I'm like, no, that's not what we're gonna do, right? So for like 10 minutes we're talking. I got him down, right? He's calm. So I'm looking at my buddy. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go around and talk to him. So he starts talking to him. I'm going around. Here comes this other guy with the less lethal shotgun. Kneels down. I'm like, bro. So now he's like, you're gonna shoot me. I'm like, I just did all this work. So we ended up having to take him down. Breaks one of my sergeant's ankles.
Shit.
I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what
it's not in the cards.
That's what you're getting. I'm like, you telling a story. That's the first thing popped in my mind. I'm like, yeah, just did all this work, and I did go through basic FBI negotiator class. I thought I had it.
Yeah.
But obviously someone undid it.
No, it's one of those things where there's a time when you have to let the person know that who's in charge, and there's a time when you gotta let a little string out, and that's kind of the dance in negotiating a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because you're like, it almost feels like you're powerless because you're like essentially talking through a phone or talking through a wall, and you're hoping this person just agrees with you, so that they can come down.
Yeah, there's some one of my predecessor who I took over for the team for. One of his things was just ask the guy to come outside.
You're having a 2-hour conversation. You never ask him. You
right? So literally, I open up almost every conversation when I get on the phone, and this happened a call out or two ago, where a guy threatened his spouse with a gun. Whatever, went back in the house. She calls the police. He comes out, or we get there. We set up the command post, and they're like, "All right, make a call." We're making calls. Nobody's answering. SWAT fires a beanbag at the front door. Just a little knock and let them know that we're here. So as soon as they hit the door, I call him again. He answers. He's like, "What's going on out there?" I'm like, "Hey, man, my name's, Corporal Makowski. I'm here to talk to you about what happened earlier." And he's like, "What are you talking about? What happened earlier?" I was like, "I don't really know everything. We're still interviewing people, but can you come out and just talk to me about it?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, shit." I'm like, "Hey, guys, he's coming out."
Sometimes you just got to ask.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to ask.
But not asking, it might have been a 2, 3, 4, or 5 hour delay. Then they start thinking about the things they can do or can't do or trying to get away, and it worked. So.
What have you guys ever used alternative methods? Like we see in movies with pizzas and cutting power and water and like what's
we've never had one. The longest one I've been part of was like 6 hours. And that was the one sitting in the bathroom. I mean, the guy that we had, the lead negotiator, he's a great guy. His name's Tony. It just, the shit that comes out of his mouth, you're just like, how do you even think about talking about this kind of stuff? And he's got that personality where you just want to keep talking back to him. And it went on and on. And this is why, like I said, the guys in the room, the insert team was like, because they're getting fucking antsy, they're like, they want to go home. It's, it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, but I got lost there.
It happens to me all the time. But alternative methods.
Oh yeah. So you mean like kind of like trying to sweet talk them out with something?
like bamboozling them or
only in training. We've tried it a couple times, but I've never experienced it on the street.
Dude, I've never done like a real negotiation, but like during that class, I'm sitting here, you have your scribe next to you. I'm looking at my scribe like, we're never getting this fucking person out.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking to them like, nope, fuck you. I'm like,
you gotta have a little cooperation from
come on. Like, is this really gonna happen?
Yeah, we set up our training. Usually I'm in the command post, like kind of feeding them info a little bit, trying to, so there is some learning. There has to be some learning for the guy on the phone, but yeah, when they just, nope, not doing nothing, it doesn't really help anything. So.
And then they tell us, that's just to build your patience because you may be here a long time. I'm like, well, fuck that. Like, you gave me nothing to work with. Yeah. Fuck yous for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And not only that, we have 6 more people to go. So
he just shot himself. It's over. Okay.
Like,
I learned a whole lot. Thank you.
And the reason I want to have you on here because you work for an awesome department, but that wasn't it, right? You also started a business at the same time you were starting a family, which is like starting a family. It's its own thing. You started a business that has flourished. It's taken off. I mean, I remember I was working for you at some point part time.
Yeah, that's right.
And now it's
I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. How could you? How could you?
Yeah.
I never got paid because I just bought everything.
No, didn't we just give you shit?
Yeah, like,
it was like
it literally is what it turned into.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I just want to buy stuff. And like, oh, okay, we'll just give you stuff.
That's right.
But what was the motivation for that? Because I mean, you have a uniform store essentially. That's what it started as, and now it's an equipment store. It's grown all kinds of things.
So back around 2014 or 2015. I'm sorry, it actually stems a little bit further back than that. So in 2013, we had our first son. He passed away 3 weeks after birth. So it was. Sorry, flashbacks are real. It was fucked up, and it hurt us pretty. Obviously, it should hurt anybody. But what had happened was after all that settled down and we started getting back to normal, I started looking for more shit to do, so I didn't think about it. It was on my mind every day. It consumed my life. It hurt a lot, and so working more, doing other things, looking for other jobs. Like I applied to work at the fire department, just an extra job here, things like that. I was teaching a ton. If I wasn't at the PD, I was teaching at the academy. And then we had our second son, Joe. And there was a uniform shop, and this is kind of where it gets all comes together. There was a uniform shop in town that was, I won't name them, but they weren't doing a great job. And a lot of people in the industry, fire, police, EMS, they were always like, oh, somebody should open up a uniform shop, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, maybe we can do this. Got with another guy. He couldn't come up with the money, so I talked to Amy, my wife, and we had just had Joey, and she was off. And I'm like, hey, if we do this can be your thing. You can take it over. You don't have to go back to what you were doing. And we were like, fuck it. So we pulled the trigger, found a place to rent, got some money together, opened up an account with, who's our biggest first one, 511. And we put our store together. We started doing some business. And I won't say it, analyzing or looking back on a lot of this stuff, timing has a lot to do with success. I shouldn't say a lot. There is a thing, in essence, to some timing. So the timing was really good. And our fire department, which is with the fourth biggest fire department in Pennsylvania, third or fourth, they were done with that other store. And there was a company that they were with, a uniform company, that wouldn't open up an account with us. So we called them. We're like, hey, we have this large entity that wants to do business with us. Open up an account so we can service them. They're like, no, you're too small, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, all right, we're going to put them in fucking 511 then. They're like, okay, good luck. And we did it. Within a couple of weeks, they were knocking on our door. They're like, hey, can you open up an account? We want to keep the business. And it's like,
let me think about it.
Yeah. I mean, we do, because they do make a good product. And we still sell their shit today. But that was kind of like what spurred it. And then within 2 years, we bought a bigger building, moved into that. We have like an 8,000 square foot building now that we're in. And it's big. It's gotten bigger for us.
Yeah, that new building is huge.
Yeah. And it's not big enough. We've outgrown that one already.
Well, because you guys now do nurse, like
we did do scrubs.
You did do scrubs for a little bit?
So with our region, it got kind of complicated. Before, when our two big hospitals were their own thing, it was easy to do business with them. And then they converged with Allegheny and UPMC, so everything comes out of Pittsburgh now. And the battle isn't worth fighting. We're doing good enough with other things.
And where do you see that going? Like, what's your goal with that business? Because even when I was there 7 years ago, or 8 years ago, it was a lot of accounts.
Yeah, we probably service 200 or 300 different departments, municipalities, I should say. Some private too. We do some private stuff, but we just hired a guy to represent as we were talking before we got on here, to represent Central PA for us. And he's killing it. I mean, almost to the point where we had to hire more people in the store just to service his accounts. So it's a good thing. I don't know where it's gonna go. You know, I mean,
just going with the yes culture.
Well, we got to back up again to get back into that, and that is an important thing because it's changed. This story has changed my life a little bit, just as much as our first son Dash. So was that 2019 or did I write it down when I took a round? Did I write that down?
I don't think you put a date on it.
I think it was 2021. September 15th,
2021.
Yeah,
September 15th, 2021. I wrote that down.
Yeah. We were at the range doing bounding drills. Is this the right time to talk about this?
Yeah, okay. That's always, yeah. I love story time.
We were doing bounding drills, and I was just a safety officer at the time. I wasn't running the drill. My job was I was at the last station where the guy empties his AR mag, and I was just there to make sure there was a click on the last pull and it was empty before he dropped it and did some a medical drill. They offered a down drill. They did like a simulation where they had to put a tourniquet on somebody. So they were bounding to get to him, right? And then run their gun dry and start the medical assessment. So I'm facing the shooter. I'm not looking downrange. And this is a very important part of the story because if I was looking downrange, I probably wouldn't be with us today. This is how fucking crazy this is. So I'm watching him shoot, waiting for his gun to run dry. The first hit, I hear the ring, and then I just feel this hot, fucking jagged dagger hit my neck. And, because I'm watching him, so I slap my neck, and I run off the range looking for cover. Like I ran behind a truck or something like that, just because instinct was just get the fuck out of the line of fire. And I'm like on all fours, and the guys that I was with thought I was like pretending to be part of the officer down drill.
Because you're always fucking around. That's the problem. Yeah, you always fucking around. So if something serious happens,
a little bit of fucking around.
Joe, but fucking around again.
Yeah. So it's starting to hurt. Think about it. So I'm sitting on all fours, and I'm like self-assessing. Like I'm trying to keep direct pressure because I know I'm bleeding out. Not bleeding out, but bleeding. And I'm like using my fingers to feel around for holes, And one of the guys comes over once he sees the blood and starts realizing what's going on. Comes over and I'm like, my everything was numb. I'm like, is my fucking ear gone? I thought my ear got shot off because everything just fucking went numb. And they're like, no, your ear's still there. I'm like, is there an exit? And they're like, no, just one hole. I'm like, fuck. And then now they're starting to try like pack gauze on it and shit. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was Caldwell. Was like, let's get him the fuck out of here. And it's going in and out of like memory here. So they're running me over to the patrol car that we had on site. Now our range is about a 45 minute drive to the closest hospital.
Oh shit.
Regular driving. It was like 15 or 20 minutes that time.
Yeah.
And I remember they're opening up the back door. I'm like, I'm not fucking getting in the back of a police car. I'm not dying in the back of a fucking police car. And I was like, put me in the front seat. So I jump in the front seat, and the guy that was driving, he's actually my lieutenant now. I remember, I'm running through my head. I'm like self-assessing because I have all this medical background, this knowledge, the EMR shit, all that stuff that I teach. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep direct pressure. I'm going to lean on him so that if I pass out, I still have some pressure because he can't do nothing for me, which was, in retrospect, kind of probably stupid. I probably should have had somebody with me in the back in case that happened. But anyway, so we're still hauling ass. And my fingers, my hands and my toes, my hands and my feet are starting to go numb. And I'm like, okay, slow the fucking heart rate down because my heart, is beating fast. I'm sweating. I feel like I'm going to puke. And I'm like, I'm not passing out. I was like, I don't taste any blood. I should be okay. I'm probably going to be okay. But you never know, right? Because
you're breathing.
I can't see it. Yeah. And I remember, most of the time I had my eyes shut the whole way down. And I remember once we were taking the Bayfront connector, which I don't know if you're too familiar with, on the Lower East Side, and we get to 12th Street, which is a big intersection. And I remember opening my eyes for a minute, and a car coming at us, T-bone, and I screamed. And the driver was like, ah! Everybody screamed. And we stopped, car went by, and we continued on, and I just kept my eyes shut until we got there. The
adrenaline you needed.
Oh yeah, it was. And so we get into the hospital. They're running me in, and my lieutenant at the time, he's telling him, he's like, "Hey, this is the guy," because they already radioed up to let them know we were coming. And they throw me in there, start ripping all my clothes off, cutting everything, and we went into like a CT scan because I can't have an MRI because it's metal. They're afraid it would rip it out, whatever.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's still there. They still can't have one. And as soon as the results came up, everybody kind of fucking chilled out and calmed down and made me feel a little bit better. And they're like, "Hey, you're going to be fine. It's in there. It's behind some muscle tissue. It's about a half inch to a quarter away from my jugular." That's how close to death I was. Well, I shouldn't say death. It's still survivable, but less chance, right?
Who wants to take that chance?
Yeah.
I just want to take a second to shout out a few companies who've believed in me. These were one of our first official sponsors, so huge shout out. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Carbo Jewelers, established in 1997 on the values of honesty and integrity. Whether you're searching for the perfect piece, need expert repair services, visit Carbo Jewelers in Newark's Ironbound District, where your jewelry is always in safe hands. This episode is also brought to you by Continental Jewelers, proudly serving Hudson County, New Jersey since 1964. Whether you're seeking a timeless piece or need expert repairs, they've got you covered. Visit Continental Jewelers, your trusted source for all things jewelry. You can find them on Instagram at Carbo Jewelers or online at carbojewelers.com. Lastly, big shout out to Carbo Trading. Besides coins, precious metals, and jewelry, if it could be traded and collected, he's probably got it. They can be found on Instagram at carbo.trading. You can find all of our sponsors out online on our sponsor page at therelentlessproject.com.
They never closed the wound. They just left it open because they said it had to drain. They were like, "Yeah, the bullet could." I went to 3 different places to see if they would take it out. Nobody will take it out. They're like, "It could come out on its own. It's best to just leave it in there." So I still have to carry that fucker around. I hate it. I hate it.
Like, can you feel like
every now and then you get like aches? It's kind of like having an achy knee or fucking elbow. It's funny when I drink it. I always find myself standing there like this. It's like, and you get that like, it's when you think about it, it hurts.
what happened? Was it a fragment? Was it
it looks like a fragment on the scans. It's the size of the round, but like maybe like half of it. And it hit, we think, a carriage bolt on the steel and just came right back. I mean, it was level with the gun. And like I said, I was probably like 3 or 4 feet away from him, and it hit that angle and just came right back. So when I say looking at him probably saved my life, it could have been here, and it went where it's a little bit more.
Wow. I remember you told me about that like months after.
I didn't really put it out.
Yeah, you were like, "Hey, by the way, I almost died." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, what happened?" You told me. I'm like, "Oh, you almost died."
Yeah.
And that's how you announce it. Okay, cool.
I didn't really put it out. No social media, none of that stuff. Or
hey guys, I was on the range.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? We get after like I get home and recover. My phone has like 100 texts. Are you okay? From guys in the circle, and even our district attorney, found out or thought it was an officer-involved shooting. Obviously, it wasn't. Well, I mean, kind of is, but yeah, very, very lucky, and that's what turns into, has turned my saying no to things or not doing things into doing things, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What did that moment, like looking back, what did that moment teach you? Like what, because obviously that changed the trajectory of how you approach life.
Yeah.
So what's one of the things that
I couldn't be, I would have missed my kids, my family. I'd be not here.
It's crazy. It takes near death to teach us that. When in
It's
reality,
crazy.
it can happen any time.
Yeah, it's crazy. One of the other things, like, I don't wish time away. Does that make sense? Like, when I think about like, my kids getting older and maybe it getting easier I don't wish it away. I don't hope for next week, or like even the pod, this was coming up. I was like, oh, I'm pretty excited to come down here and do this. But the time in between, I don't wish it away to get there. Does that make sense?
You don't want to skip anything.
Yeah. Like as soon as we get done here, I'm going to run back, for a soccer game, for one of my kids' soccer games. So, you know, I don't wish it away, because there's going to come a time where those opportunities are gone, you know. And like I said, I try to say yes to everything. You know, things that I normally wouldn't do. I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Like I went on a cruise. Like I was never fucking want to go on a cruise in my life. And my sister's like, hey, we're gonna take the kids on this cruise. Do you guys want to go? I'm like, yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah. And I had a fucking blast. Slept in the shower pan of the fucking room once, getting from the drink package.
Yeah,
you know,
that damn drink package.
yeah, it gets you every time. You know, you got to get your money's worth.
And like how important is it to, like, especially for people who maybe haven't had that experience and hopefully never have that experience, but kind of hitting home to like overcome your excuses, seize opportunities, right? Like you said something earlier where timing had to do with the success of the store.
Yeah.
Where I believe that timing is always there. It's a matter of if you're prepared to accept that opportunity.
So that's the good point of what you just said, though. So you have to be able to analyze the opportunity, and if the opportunity exists, try to do it. And that was what with this one. The opportunity was there, and nobody was taking it, and that's why it was successful, because we took it. Now, could it have went the other way? Sure. In looking at everything and doing business plans and projections and shit like that, which can be somewhat bullshit. I didn't see a downside to it, and that's kind of why we went all in on it, you know. And it's doing, like I said, it's doing well. So. And
you had other business ventures, right? I mean, you had the fire truck for a while.
Yeah.
Really.
So
do you still have that thing?
No, I sold it. I wish I would have kept it, because I really loved that idea. So yeah, we bought a fire truck, retrofitted it, turned it into a food truck, and Aim and I were like, do we want to spend every weekend doing fucking events? Missing all the shit with our family and summer and stuff, because that's when you'd be working.
Yeah,
you'd be doing
eventually
Friday.
You hire someone to do it,
and that was the idea right out of the gate. But most businesses, sometimes you gotta put some skin in it
for sure
to get it going. We had a liquor distiller's license at one point.
Well,
you know
Whitetail?
Whitetail.
Yeah,
that's
I knew
right.
it.
Yeah,
I designed the. I designed the
part of it. Yeah,
part of the logo. Yeah.
I wanted that to work so bad. And we were doing it right when the whole distillery craze, but everybody was trying to put one together, and we were just in the beginning of it. And we were at the bank ready to sign a loan for $250,000 to buy all the equipment and get this thing going. We had the place set up. We got approved for the license, and we looked at each other, we're like, we're gonna get divorced if we do this. There's no fucking way we can do kids, company, food truck, distillery, work at the PD still, and we were like, let's just shelve it for now. And then COVID hit, which I don't know if it would have hurt that, because a lot of distillers were making.
No,
they were still.
A lot of people
well.
resorted to.
Yes, they were still doing well when COVID hit. So there, and then I had an electronics repair company. We were doing, dude.
What?
Yeah, this one's weird. Again, this was an opportunity. So we had a big arcade in Erie that was terrible, and I have a little bit of history with electronics repair. Me and a couple other guys that I went to school with, and so I'm like, hey, we'll service all your machines. We'll do 40 hours a month. Whatever rate we gave them at the time. You pay up front. We'll give you 8 hours a week repairing broke down shit. And we did that for like 4 years, me and another guy. And then my intention was to give it to the partner. And the arcade kind of went a different direction, and it just kind of fell apart. But yeah, so we did that.
Oh, I just learned something now.
Yeah, dude. Pinball machines, like arcade games and shit. I love that stuff, dude. It's crazy.
The more you know.
Right.
Well, anything else I should know while we're here?
Made me think. We did that. What else did we do? Anything? I think that's about it.
Well, now you're doing like a little club, not club, but.
Yeah, so we bought an old social club, and we're going to lease it back to the union to turn into their new union club or social. That's actually what we're calling it, the union club, but it's going to benefit the union, the FOP, and the bargaining units.
What drives this entrepreneurial spirit?
So going back to when Dash passed away, looking for shit to do, it becomes an addiction a little bit. When I'm not doing anything, when there's downtime, my brain's like, what could I be doing right now?
I feel that.
Right? And it becomes addicting because the reward. So even like small things, at the shop now, if we have like a big order, getting that, you're like, fuck, this is going to take 2 weeks to do, or, you know, whatever, a build or something, whatever. And you get it all done and you get that little dope of accomplishment. And you're like, I could do this again. And it becomes addicting. Right. And you wake up in the morning, like, I think it's Gary V, if I can quote Gary V. He doesn't look forward to weekends. He looks forward to Monday. And I do. I look forward to Mondays in the business world, because that's when you can go at it and make money.
Yeah. So is it the chase or is it the reward?
It's the reward, because not every chase is valuable. There's jobs I've done where I break even or make a little bit of money, but I make that contact, I make that connection. The next time, you know, then we can build better relationships, do stuff, contractual stuff, and just, you know, shit like that.
And how like, what advice do you have for people who maybe are thinking about doing something like this, but they're at an impasse? Like one thing you always say, seize the opportunity, do it if you want to do it, but like that never tends to stick with people. Like someone listening, they're like, oh man, he's a cop, he's doing this. Like,
I've said, you got to evaluate the market. All right. So another person I really like and I enjoy listening to is Mike Rowe. You know, Mike Rowe is the old Dirty Jobs guy.
Yeah.
Super neutral politically, which is awesome, but very in touch with reality in the job market. And one of the things he said is don't chase your dreams. Chase opportunity. And what I mean, and how I interpreted that was, you know, evaluate the market. There's, if you really like photography and you want to be a, you know, photographer and stuff like that, it's like, it's a pretty saturated market. You got to have something special to really excel at that and make money, because you go out and you spend a couple of G's on a camera and shit like that, and you got to start booking jobs to make money, to make it a profession. Some people don't want to do that, but like Mike says, not a lot of people want to clean shitters. A lot of money to be made in cleaning shitters.
Yeah, I was just looking at a post about like where a lot of money's made, and it's like storage units,
Storage
car
units is a big
washes,
one. Car wash.
but like no one talks about everyone when people are talking about businesses, right? It's like the jewelry business, like these flashy, cool jewelry. Like no one's flashing about my storage business.
Yeah, I mean, storage is one of those nice things. It takes a little bit. There's initial overhead to buy the properties, put it up, unless you can buy an existing one. But it's pretty self-run, you know. Yeah. So those are one of those nice. If you have a full-time job doing something else to get into, I hate the word passive income. I think it's just used too much. But
to make passive income.
Yeah, you know,
to make extra change.
Yeah, but a business like the uniform shop can become passive income when you start growing enough where you can pay people to run it for you.
Yeah, like now, I remember you were there after work, before work.
Yeah. Like
now, does it look different, obviously? Are you able to
so if there's things that I need to do, I'll go in and do them. You know, my wife handles the day-to-day there. She essentially runs that place. That's hers now. You know, I let her do it. But like if there's a job that I got to do, I'll come in and do it. If it's after a night shift, I'll go knock it out. I'll sleep. You know, I have an office there with a couch. I'll sleep on the couch and just hang out. Wake up, go do what I got to do, and then go back to bed. Or if somebody wants to come in and meet with me about something.
So if I need a place to crash in Erie, I'm taking your office.
Oh yeah, there's a shower. I build a full shower. It's beautiful.
It's my office. It's home away from home.
And it's nice because I can bring my kids there when they're not at school, and we can hang out. I can get some work done, and they can play Xbox and.
Oh, so there's like a little rec room for them too.
You never been back there?
No.
I got to bring it back there. Oh, yeah.
I've been in the new store twice, and it's literally been in passing. I'm like, had to go in, get what I get, and leave.
Right.
So I'm going to have to.
Yeah, next time you come up, we go out. We'll have to stop there and check it out. But yeah, we got a big garage there, a bunch of shit in, and then the office, got a couch, TV, all that shit. It's kind of like this. But you could, it could be a second home if I needed it to be. And then there's an upstairs that could be used too. We just use it for storage right now.
So if I need a room,
Yeah. No, you're good. I give you the code to the door, and you can get right in if you ever need a place
I'm gonna
to
need
stay.
that. Set off the alarm. What the fuck
No,
is this
I have
doing?
it all set up so you can get in there without setting the alarm off. Yeah.
He's thought about this. And not only that, right? So you're not just a cop, right? You've leaned into that. You've leaned into these businesses. You're also a pilot.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking sweet to me.
I know.
Like, if there's anything that's cool, the whole time we're talking, I'm like, yeah, cool. Policing, cool. Yeah, businesses, yeah, cool.
You wanted to open this door. I could talk about being a pilot for a while. I mean, you already kind of called me out for some terminology before we got
Yeah, what did you say?
Cloud deck.
Cloud deck. I'm like, all right, nerd. Cloud deck.
So, yeah. So it was during COVID. I think I got my license. So the history of that is my dad was a pilot, private pilot. Bought a plane like back in the 90s. And, I got to go fly with him, but I never really had a ton of interest in it. And then it was before COVID. I take that back. So it was like 18, I think, 2018. He was talking about selling it because to have your pilot's license, you get your pilot's license and it's yours forever. How you keep it is by maintaining a medical certificate. So you got to go to the doctor and they got to do a physical and be like, all right, you're okay to fly. When you have a heart attack, they pull it. That happened to my dad. He had a heart attack, so they pulled his license. And it's big balls to get back. It's not hard. It's hard to get back, but it's not something that you can't do. You know what I mean? It's not possible.
It's a process.
Yeah. And he was like, hey, I'm thinking about selling the plane, this and that. And I'm like, don't do it yet. Let me use it to get my license. So I started that process. And, flying 2-3 times a week, you learn everything, take the tests, whatever, and they give you your license. And then he sold it. So I was like, fuck. I really love doing this. Like, I wish I would have did it 20 years ago. Anybody out there that's looking to maybe do it even as a hobby, do it now. Because it's just like everything else. It gets more expensive the longer you do it.
Can you rent a plane? That sounds stupid. You can just
Yeah.
like for private flying, not for classes.
Yeah.
See that? I've always thought about it. And then I got into skydiving. And me and my buddy are like, dude, if one of us gets our pilot license, one of us can fly, and the other jumps out.
Right.
I'm like, wow, dude, that's actually pretty legit. And then we start, like you, I'm always like, well, how can we make this a business, right?
You can.
Like, we can have a little, like, private. Like, we're 3 or 4 people jump a day. Nothing crazy.
So, like, the plane I have now, I'm probably going to be selling because I'm going to buy something a little faster. But you can partner with people. So you would have to continue on getting your commercial license. Not like a commercial like flying jets or anything, but you can be paid to fly. So like I can't be paid to fly because I'm a private pilot. So you can split gas, shit like that. But if you're not, technically the rules, you can't come to me and be like, hey, can you fly me down to Florida and I'll give you $300? I'm not supposed to do that. If you left it in the plane, it'd be different. But no, because they don't want they don't want pilots making bad decisions over money.
Yeah, I mean,
does that make sense?
No,
and
no.
Well, I mean,
you can make bad decisions.
Well, like today, I wanted to fly down today, but I'm like, this fucking weather's kind of shitty.
But if someone's like, hey, I got $1,000, maybe you go through with it,
right?
Okay,
and that's what they
sense.
don't want to happen. So you go through the commercial part, gets into like a lot of that stuff. But if you got your commercial, you bought your own plane or went in a partnership with a bunch of people, like a nice Kodiak, which has the big roll-up door in the back.
Yes.
You can charter your own. You could charter yourself out. You can make. You can charge people $1,000 an hour, whatever you want to charge them, to go fly places. I'd love to do that. The timing isn't there yet.
Dude, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta get in. We actually entertained doing this episode in the airplane.
We still can. We can
I'll
still do part of it.
I can't say no. How many people does a seat? Like
4.
So we could put all the shit in the back.
Oh yeah.
And then land like, I don't know, Miami.
I mean,
do the episode.
It'd take a little while to get
Hey,
down
I don't
there.
give a long. The longer, the better.
Yeah. So like I said, the reason why I want to get a newer or a faster one is to go places. This one, it's a great plane to learn in. Very stable, very cheap to operate, but it only goes like 130 miles an hour.
Oh, that's it.
So it takes a little longer to get places. But it's a good aircraft.
From Erie to Pittsburgh, how long will that flight be?
25 minutes.
See, that's wild. See, like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour drive, 25-minute flight.
Maybe half hour, depending on weather. Like we'll go to Grove City a lot to go shopping.
With a tailwind, how?
Yeah.
You
Because there's an
knew
airport.
that, huh?
There's the flight school there, or the
There's
jump
one in
school.
Butler. Well, there's the jump schools in Grove City.
Yeah.
There's one right outside in Ohio, about an hour.
Yeah.
But there's a flight school.
Butler has
in
one.
Butler.
Yeah. It's big too.
And I've thought about it.
Do it.
How
Do
much?
it.
Like, what's that process? Walk us through the process.
My advice would be to go to like a ground school first. So you could do it something during the winter when it's not good flying time. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a good time to fly during the winter, depending on weather. But it's actually colder air is better for flight than warm air.
Good to know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, do a ground school. You pay a couple $100. They give you all the books, and then you have an instructor actually telling you how to pass the test. They're teaching you the test. They're teaching you what to expect. You're learning flight rules. You're learning aerodynamics, all this stuff that you're going to need to apply when you're flying. Then you can simultaneously start flying with an instructor. Pick a good instructor. Try to find an instructor that's going to see it all the way through to the end. Because sometimes a lot of these instructors, they're doing it to build hours to go to an airline. Because eventually that's their end game. There's not too many instructors that's what they do as a career. A lot of them are young guys that got their license, really enjoyed it, started instructing because you get to build the hours because these airlines want guys with like 1,500 hours before they hire them. So try to find a guy that's going to be there for a minute at least so you can get through it. It should take you like 3 months, 3-4 months to get your license if you fly 2 or 3 times a week. So take the ground school, start flying. You got to do about 15 hours, instructional hours in the air. Then you do your solo. You go up and fly by yourself. And once you get signed off on your solo, you can start building hours on your own, just flying fucking places. You're not allowed to take anybody with you because
If you die,
you're just a student.
we want you to die alone.
Yeah, you're just a student. And then when you build like 40, 50 hours, you can take what they call, get a DPE, something examiner. I can't remember exactly what it is.
That was on your test.
No, it's not. The regular airman test, private pilot test is really cool. When you get into like instrument flying, it gets more complicated. But so you got to, it's so fucking shady. Like, so you and I would be sitting across the table. You'd be my instructor. I'm the student. And they're going over some things. They're going over your test where you might have missed some things to make sure you're good. They'll do some map work, like flight planning. And then they're like, all right, let's go take the test. And then they kind of go like this. And you're like sliding a couple $100 across the table to pay them to do this. And they could fail you and they keep your money, or you can give them a little extra. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't say that out loud. No, I was kidding. But it's weird because you're like, it's not super official, but it is. So then you go up and they put you through some maneuvers, make sure that you're a safe pilot, make sure you can complete some.
Oh, so the test is like my subjection.
Oh, yeah. Well, as the examiner.
Yeah.
So we go up. I'm sitting, you're co-pilot, I'm pilot, and we're flying around. You're doing all your safety things. You're doing all the procedures. It's a lot of procedures. You get up in the air, and he might say, okay, you lost your engine, and pull the power of the engine. Doesn't shut the engine off. But now you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do? So now you're looking for fields.
You tap rack.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And it's all procedural. It's all muscle memory. And you're like, okay, you're touching the instruments, making sure that you're going through everything. And you're like, that's the field I'm going to land in. And you'll glide 400 feet to that, above the ground of that field. And he'd be like, all right, your engine's back. And you power out. So there's cool shit like that.
Fuck that.
No, it's great. It's super intimidating. It really is, but you'd be fine. You got the mentality for it. A lot of cops do, believe it or not. And then my favorite one's the stalls, because a lot of people think engine stall, but it's not. It's a lift stall. So you're trying to pull the plane back until you run out of air, and the plane just falls forward.
I'm actually
again.
going over that lesson right now. For part 107.
Oh, for the
drone stuff.
Yeah, drones don't stall.
Yeah, but they said in case there's going to be a lot of stuff for fixed wing.
Sure.
In case you decide to move on. It's like, that's interesting you mentioned that, because that's actually the lesson I'm on. And I'm like, what the fuck's that got to do with a quadcopter? Like,
yeah, that's weird. But yeah, it's fun because depending on your aircraft and how you arrange the speed and power, sometimes it's hard to make them stall. Like my dad's plane was a big Cherokee. They called it Cherokee 6, huge motor in it, and you could sit there and pull up straight up, and the plane will just fly like this, and it won't stall, because you almost have to like fake it a little bit and like kill the power to let it come over. But basically, it's to make you learn what it feels like, so that if you're coming in for a landing or takeoff and you're pulling back too hard and the plane starts to stall, you can feel it coming and try to regain control.
This is like shake. I would assume like.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I should
It's wild, dude.
Just give me the.
You're like, what's it
license.
gonna? But again, there's slow flight where you're flying. You know, like when a plane comes in, it puts flaps down for control and stuff like that. You could do that up in the air, and like my plane will fly like 40 miles an hour. It's crazy because you're sitting there like, when's this thing gonna fall out of the sky? You're like, and it's pretty wild. It's fun though. Like I said, I could talk about it for a long time. No, do it. I could talk about it forever. I wish I would have did it 20 years ago.
Why?
Because of how much fun it is and freeing. Because when you go up, depending where you leave from, like Butler, like if it was based at Butler, Erie's a controlled airport. Butler isn't. You could literally just get up and you don't have to tell anybody anything. You just fucking go somewhere.
It's like getting in your car.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy because I just got my drone yesterday, and it's the VR one. So you put the head, and like I probably played with it for 20 minutes before the battery died because I didn't charge it. And like with the VR, I'm like hovering and I'm looking down. I'm like, dude, this is so cool. It's like I'm flying.
I want to take you up, dude. We gotta do it. Yeah.
So imagine actually being up there. And the only thing I can equate it to is when I went skydiving. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like scary, right? You go through all these procedures.
You have to trust the equipment.
Yes.
There's a lot of trust.
Which, as a cop, you're like,
you like to be in control of everything.
You're like, no, I need to trust. I need to be able to control everything.
Yeah.
Well, now you're putting your trust in this thing that's supposed to work, but like in policing, things that's supposed to work don't work.
Right.
Right. Like taser supposed to incapacitate you. Doesn't always happen. Your firearm supposed to shoot around. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Right.
And so now you're telling me to just trust this stuff, right? And with parachute, they're like, oh, you know,
it could open.
Yeah. So they say, oh, if it doesn't, you know, use your cutaway. Okay. What if it doesn't cut away? Or what if the person who packed it was having a bad day?
Yeah, shit starts like, twisting.
Fuck this dude. I'm not going to pack this right. I don't know who. Because like think about it. And we always think about worst case scenario.
Yeah,
right. So like as I'm going up there with this book bag on, I'm like, what if this dude had a fucking horrible day? He doesn't know who's wearing this book bag. He can be like, you know, fuck this guy.
Yep. That's wild, dude.
And now it like doesn't open.
Here's the crazy thing. I would never fucking skydive.
But you fly.
But I would fly. Because at least if the engine stops running, I could glide that bitch to the ground and fucking put it on a road or a field
I'll glide
somewhere.
to the ground fast.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour.
Dude, so like, I just think of that experience of when I took that step off the plane. You know, and the first one where I'm by myself, you're holding on to the wing. And you're looking at your instructor, and he tells you go. And when you let go.
That's it, bro.
Dude, and the plane's going, and I'm just like, shit.
Contemplating life.
Dude, I'm like, why did I decide to do this?
Yeah.
But there's this moment after the parachute comes out, you're good, and you're just looking at everything below you, and you're like, wow. Like, I'm fucking above the earth right now.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking about things to say last night. I was like laying in bed, and a lot of the things that were coming to my mind, maybe to tell your audience, was like, the world's so much bigger than your fucking city.
Dude, and it is.
Just go somewhere. Explore your country. Like you said, when you're flying, you're like, holy fuck, dude. There's so much land and resource. Like, it's amazing.
Like Erie's guilty of that.
Yeah.
I grew up in Erie, right? And like Erie's everything.
Yeah.
And then
all big cities.
Leaving Erie is what? Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You
Cleveland or Buffalo.
Yeah. And you're like, oh wow. But man, traveling to like Texas for a real estate convention or Vegas for the tournaments and you know, LA and Miami, going to all these places, I'm like, dude, the world is bigger than this.
Dude, we just went to Rome. That was incredible.
You see me? There's a statue of me over there.
Is there?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Is it naked?
Sorry. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. But
that was. But again, you know, I'm super fortunate to be able to do that. It's some of the. You look like we went to the Vatican. Your mind is it. Your mind has a hard time wrapping around how they even built this fucking place. It's incredible.
Or like pyramids. That's one thing.
It's the same thing.
Like who? Like how?
It's incredible. Like you know it was built by a dude or a person, but you're just like, how the fuck did they? We can't even do this today. How did they do this 1,000 years ago or longer?
Well, and they say the pyramids were like white.
It's aliens, dude.
Yeah. Talking about this just turned into a Joe Rogan experience.
It's bro.
I believe giants built it.
It's possible. I'm not opposed to believing that shit either.
I'm not kidding. You think I'm fucking around?
No,
Like people, what do people say? Who do people say originally built the pyramids?
I have
Slaves, right? They
Oh,
say
sure.
slaves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You ever force someone to do something they don't want to do?
Right.
It's never going to be precise. Like the pyramids were built with love.
Yeah.
With intention. Everything precise. You can't force someone to take account those little factors that went into that. Mm-hmm. So
There's so much more there than they're letting anybody on to. There's so much more.
Dude, I want to get into one.
That'd be fun. Did you see that video of the dude that climbed it and then?
Did he get booted or something?
I don't remember.
Like,
yeah,
probably lost all access to the country now.
Yeah.
But there's like little things like that. Not to get we just went, but like
Yeah, no, it's okay.
to talk about how big the world is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the unknowns about who built the pyramids, the unknowns about the Vatican, or just seeing like
even in our own country, there's so much cool shit to go see.
Go
to a fucking coastal
I
town.
was gonna say the equator.
We're close.
No, not the equator. The what the fuck in Arizona? Why is it escaping me? Dude, this is embarrassing. The big hole in the fucking ground in Arizona.
Like a crater?
It's a national
Crater Park.
Is it Crater
Right?
Park?
Where a meteorite hit? Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Like-
Yeah, I'd love to see that fucking
But
place.
like what? Like how did something do this? And then where did it go?
See, and that's the cool thing about when you go to these places, if you could set up where you can be like on a tour and just nerd out to what because all these like tour guides are like when we were over there, it's incredible. Like they're like 7-year anthropologists and shit, and you're like asking questions and they're right there with an answer.
This is their
It's
life.
amazing.
That's what they do.
It's amazing.
Did you get to see like a Coliseum or anything?
We did. It was amazing, dude. It was incredible. And we got to get off topic for you. This is the one that I thought was pretty amazing because we're Americans, we're stupid, and we watch too much TV. The dude was like, hey, a lot of the, like 90% of the events that they had in the Coliseum were animal on human. It wasn't human on human.
No, I knew this because I was gonna say dudes fought like lions.
Yeah. So they would go all over the fucking world and pull all these exotic animals in and then basically set up like a hunting expedition in the Coliseum for people to watch. And he said they did have gladiator fights. He said it was more like almost like MMA today. He's like these gladiators, and it rarely fought to the death. I didn't know that either.
I always thought it was to the death.
No, he said they would beat the shit out of each other. One would be declared the winner, and they'd drag them off or whatever, but then they would go back to the facility and train, and it'd be back in a couple months to fight again. It was too expensive to kill people back then. Too, I guess. Right? I don't know if it is today. Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah, it still might be some criminal intention, but yeah, he said it did happen, but it wasn't like a primary thing.
Dude, but think about that, right? Like people who train MMA, I've talked to a lot of them. You're sitting there training because in a month you're going to get locked in a cage
And fight.
with another person who wants to inflict the same damage on you that you're going to on them. Mm-hmm. Now you're like, hey, we're going to put you in with a lion. Get ready.
Maybe a dude too. I don't know.
How do you prepare
Yeah.
for a lion?
Yeah. They showed us from the movie The Elevators where the lions appeared from the ground.
Yeah.
All that was there. And
So how does that work?
So the dirt that you see in like the movie, that was actually a wooden deck that they brought dirt in, and it went down like I don't know 30 or 40 feet below that, and that's where they kept everybody. That's where all the operation was, all that shit. It's pretty wild.
Like how did they?
It's just like hoists and shit. It's incredible.
It's like, hey, we're gonna hoist this lion and go mangle this dude.
Yeah, basically.
You had to be a different type of crazy.
Yeah.
So, I want to get my pilot's license.
Yeah.
What's the first step?
Go take that ground school.
Ground school.
Yeah, just go to Butler.
So, like, how does the pay structure work? Do you like pay for a class and then you show up for the class, or do you pay as you go kind of deal?
They just like any other business, they have different marketing strategies. So you can pay per hour, you can buy blocks of time, or pay for the whole thing up front. Just depends on your budget. So generally, you're gonna probably, for me, I had my own plane, so I only had to pay instructor fees and fuel. It cost me about $6,000 or $7,000. It's gonna cost you double if you got to rent a plane, because now you're paying a few $100s an hour to rent a plane, plus instructor, plus fuel. So you're gonna be 12, 13, 14 grand, but you can take a loan because it's education, and you can write it off. I'm just saying.
Hold on. Okay.
I shouldn't say. I shouldn't use the word write off.
You just became my financial advisor.
Yeah. So write off's like I hate that word. I think that's overused too, and I don't even know why I used it. Tax deductible, educational expense.
I'm just trying to understand my guests and audience better. That's why I put myself through flight school.
Yeah. Well, no, you want to do this somewhere else. We did it through the business because we get to go all over the state to do bids and contracts and fittings.
That's true.
So that's how we justified it.
Yeah, like if I want to go, because I've been offered a few times to go somewhere, and I'm like, well, I gotta go get an airplane. Just let me fuel up my.
Yeah. What's the weather like right now?
Let me fuel up my plane.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, what's the weather?
Yeah, put some fuel in that son of a bitch.
Dude, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Put Relentless on the wing. Can you name your plane? Like
yeah.
a boat?
Yeah.
What's yours called?
I never named it. I do give it hugs every now and then when it brings me back home safe.
Well, that's your next goal is to name your plane.
Name it. Well, like I said, it might be selling them, so we'll see what we do with the new one.
You got to name a new one.
Yeah. No, they do name a lot of planes though. Usually it's the last so they have a tail number, and usually the last 1 or 2 digits is a letter, and it'll go off that.
I need one with the letter R.
Yeah, you could actually change it, just like a license plate. You can tail your plane whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna think of something interesting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my next goal. I think.
Do it.
It's just yes. Fuck it.
There.
You have yes culture. I have fuck it mentality.
Yeah, dude.
Like seriously, like growing up, I had nothing. Not the pity me.
Yeah.
You know, and as I got older,
same
I'm
thing.
like, holy fuck, dude, there's so much to this world. And like when I like to study people, like people who quote unquote are successful.
Yeah.
And if you look at all these people's mindsets, it's just been one, usually embracing the struggle, embracing the challenge, embracing the path, whatever you want to call it, and just seizing opportunity left and right, leaving no stone unturned.
And looking for the next.
Yeah.
Looking for the next thing.
You know, those are the things that boils down. Now, there's a lot of other things, but essentially that's their mind of like, yeah, fuck it. Okay, we'll try it. You know, and then like, I'm sure you've heard the quote, you know, some people will fail 1,000 times before others even start.
Yeah.
Like there's so many lessons and so many things you learn about yourself and opportunities and all that in those quote unquote failures. And like, what's the worst that can happen? If you try it and fail, you're exactly where you started.
Yeah. You could. There's another one. You're only 20 no's away from a yes.
Yeah. Or
You would be excited for the next no.
this one. Yeah. This
You know?
this one blew my mind. If you were 5 or 10 failures away from your goal,
Yeah.
how fast would you want to fail?
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's get all
10
done right now.
Yeah.
But like when you think of that, it's easy to overlook. Oh, that's corny.
People, it's intimidating.
It
Just
is.
like getting your license would be. It's intimidating. But you want to know how I got into policing? Another way. As a kid, really good friends with him. Actually, he's helping me do this club. He went to the police academy. I'm like, this dude's a fucking twat. I can fuck. If he can do it, I can do it. that's how that kind of started too. And I'm like, yeah, this fucking sounds like a good fucking plan. Worst idea ever. No, I was kidding. No, I love my job. I love my job.
I'm only doing this to support my own.
Yeah. But yeah, I do it, man. Just here's the other thing. You can do what they call a discovery flight. It's like $100. They take you up with an instructor and you could fly around a little bit. And he'll maybe give you a little lesson here, you know, or you can ask a bunch of questions.
No training.
No training, yeah. Because I could let you fly my plane a little bit up in the air, you know, and
You sure about that?
yeah, because I'm there, you know. Sorry, FAA. But yeah, you can. I mean, we can go up, and you could hold the controls a little bit while I do my thing, and see what you like, and just turn it around. But it's awesome, dude. It really is.
I'm like cheesing thinking about it because I've thought of this for a long time.
Do it.
And like now, do I get my skydiving license first, or do I get my pilot's license first?
So I love missions, and now that I know you are actually seriously interested in this, the next nice day, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna pick your ass up in Butler, and we're gonna go fly a little bit.
Oh no!
You could bring the cameras,
dude. I got a bunch of them.
Bring the
Dude,
cameras,
I got a bunch of them. We could do a little.
Yeah.
Call it in the
It'd
air.
be fun. Yeah.
Little series where we're just up there talking shit.
Yeah.
And I just show.
Look at those motherfuckers.
Yeah, losers. You're still on the ground.
It is a cool feeling getting up in the air. How cool would it be like, hey, baby, you want to meet me at the airport? We're going to go to dinner at fucking Franklin. Franklin has a great fucking restaurant in the airport. Primo Barone's.
In the airport?
Yeah. You remember that place?
Well, there was a.
It was called Primo Barone's. It's different now.
Benjamin's.
I don't know what the fuck that's at. I don't know.
No, that might be in the city.
So it was Venango Franklin Regional Airport. Me and Aim will jump in a plane. Sometimes we'll bring the kids. We'll jump in a plane, go down there, have spaghetti, and fucking come fly home. It's awesome, dude. And you get to fly in. Dude, they treat you like royalty. You fly in, you park right next to the restaurant. Looks like you're driving a car. And you sit in there and...
It's like, do you like...
I'll show you.
Just like pictures. Park... Does it valet for your plane? Like,
no, you just jump the fuck out and walk into the restaurant. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Hey, don't scratch
your
plane.
Yeah. Everybody look at me.
That's actually... Can you paint your plane?
Yeah.
Like, is there a color it can't be?
No.
A blacked out plane.
Black and yellow.
Dude, that's... I think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, no, you can wrap them too. I've seen dudes... I'll have to show you where they do... they'll get them sanded down and prime them, and then they'll have dudes come in and do graffiti on them. And they look
I've
fucking
never
awesome.
seen a plane like that.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures.
See, that'd be sick.
I'd love to do that, but again, it's not cheap to paint a plane, dude.
And you're also selling your plane.
Yeah.
What a loser. How old's your plane?
79, so it's up there.
Oh, yeah.
But most planes are.
She's got character.
No. I mean, like my old man's plane was in the 66. But you got to remember what every year and it's just like having a boat. There's maintenance every year. It's like in a vehicle inspection. They call it an annual. They take the planes apart, check everything, put them all back together, test them. So there's older planes now that are in better shape than brand new planes because of that. So I never have any question about what its capabilities are. You have to put a new engine in them every 20 or 2,000 hours.
Oh, so you just like replace the whole engine?
Yeah. Out in. I mean, you could do parts, but they recommend manufacturer remodels and shit.
So there's a lot that goes into
owning.
Yeah. It like becomes a culture. Like you have to.
Oh, it is, dude. There's a whole different world of people out there.
Do you follow blogs, plane pilots?
So my particular model, I do, because there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that could be answered by other people that do the same thing. Like my particular model has lots of other uses. Like they put pontoons on them so you can land in water. Oh yeah.
That'd be sick.
They're really useful out west in the higher elevations because it has a bigger engine in it. So because the thinner the air, the harder it is for a plane to climb and shit like that. So we're good around here. We're only like 1,000 feet above sea level. So.
Yeah, fuck Pittsburgh. No, I love Pittsburgh. It's cold. It's cold.
I've flown the Allegheny, so like we'll fly out to like Warren and shit, and get in the Allegheny and fly down and fucking fly through the Allegheny. Dude, it's so awesome.
You see another plane above you, you're like, picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, dude, it's fun.
Race planes now. You hear the car races have been happening around Pittsburgh? Like meetups?
No.
Oh, dude, they like shut down bridges and shit. Well, have like a plane race in the air.
Yeah, you can do it. Hey,
we're gonna meet at this altitude, at this,
You can, dude.
I just saw a video of like a personal plane, some dude in like this little thing, and his buddy in an actual plane like flew next to him, and then he flew home. Yeah, and his buddy flew to the airport. I'm like,
dude, that's my dream. To live at the end of my career is to buy or to get in a fly park where it's like you build your house next to a runway, and then
you could take off from like literally your driveway.
Yeah.
Have a hangar.
Yep. It'd be dope.
You got a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So, obviously you've been through some things. You talked about your son passing away. I'm sorry to hear that. Mm-hmm. The bullet incident. How has these experiences kind of shaped who you are now, and how are you using those to kind of push forward with success? Because going through things like that can make or break a man, and you've used it to kind of propel you forward.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Jesus Christ.
I had to.
No, I'm kidding. Prior to all that, there was a lot of planning in my life. I wanted to plan everything. I had an idea. I had a blueprint for when I wanted to have kids and when I wanted to get married, and certain goals like getting promoted and at the job and shit. It stopped mattering. those things weren't as important to me. It's easy for me to say because we have the successful business and we're doing well, but sorry, thinking about that shit.
No,
It gets
I
at you.
get it. Yeah.
I don't want to miss anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and like one thing I do personally, like I literally try to live in the moment. We hear that all the time, but it's like I started doing this thing where instead of saying I have to, I say I get to, right?
Yeah.
Like I get to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym.
Yep.
There's some people who can't even afford a gym membership.
Yeah.
Right? Like I get to choose that time. I have a car that takes me there that I drive. Some people don't have a vehicle. Like there's so many quote unquote mundane things in life that we overlook and take advantage of because we're so focused on the promotion, the I want to build this business. I want this. I want that. I want to get to this moment. I want to get to the weekend because that's when I get to go out and drink, right? Like whatever the fuck your goal is, like we're so focused on that and we let everything between pass by.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but like you're so excited about this one thing to happen. And then you get there and you're like, damn, where'd the last week go?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's so
I
many
don't even
things
remember
that happen.
what happened. Yeah.
There's so many relationships, so many conversations,
That's
so
why I
many
say
experiences.
just talk to people.
Yeah.
Try to listen. Actually, it is a. You really have to practice listening. Does that make sense? Instead of thinking about what you're going to say next.
Intentional listening, intentional conversation.
Yes. And it is. What do I try to tell my cadets? A discipline. Every time you talk to somebody, to just listen and actually have a response to what they're saying rather than what you're going to say next, I guess. And that is something I'm working on is still. I mean, because even as we're talking now, I'm like, so you say something and I'm like, my brain's like, oh, talk about this or tell him about this. And you're like, no, fucking stop. Listen to what he's saying first. You know, if you forget about it, you forget about it.
Well, and that's what happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit here and I'm like, oh, that's a good point. I'm going to elaborate on that point. And then I'll find myself where I'm like, fuck, where are we in the conversation?
Yep.
You know, and that's something I've gotten better the more conversations I have. And now I'm just like, we'll sit down. Like I have an outline that kind of, if we go off the rims, like talking about pyramids and shit, which doesn't happen, I'm going to be like, oh, where were we? Okay, boom. And I can get back there because, you know, as much as I enjoy just having, like me and you, when we sit and we talk, dude, we'll talk about anything and everything for hours.
Dude, when you were like, let's meet at, what was that fucking Coughlin Law? Or whatever the fuck? Yeah, okay. I don't know what the fuck it is.
How nice was it?
It was awesome. Yeah. I enjoyed myself.
The parking sucks, but it's a good time.
Everywhere in Pittsburgh, parking sucks. But
yeah, well, that's true. Like that's me, right? But I know a lot of people, they need, like my ADHD also kicks in. So like I can have 3 conversations at the same time with 2 different people.
Yeah.
And when someone vibes with that, dude, the conversation's flowing. Like some people look at me and be like, dude, can you, like, how are you, like, listening to me? I'm like, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're talking to him. Well, I'm talking to both of you. And I'm doing just fine. You know, so it's like, I'm good with that chaos. Most people aren't. So this helps me control myself a little bit.
Was that? I really, like, I'm still excited to meet Nico.
Yeah.
Someday. You listen to Nico, you motherfucker. We got a date in Vegas at some point, right?
Oh, this is a call out. Call him out right now.
Nico.
Call him out.
I don't know you, motherfucker, but I heard you're a good time, and I want to experience what Nico is.
I'm gonna call. I'm surprised he hasn't called. He usually calls me every episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like no matter if it's 10 at night, 7 in the morning, 10 in the morning, 3 p.m. He finds a way to call me.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast, Barbells and Bourbon podcast, and I'm talking to Nico. Comes up, and I'm like, I'm surprised he hasn't called me. You know, like 10 minutes later, my phone rings.
Nice.
And I obviously it's silence, but it's on my watch, and I look at the dude. I'm like, guess who's fucking calling me? He's like, well, I'm like, Nico, dude, on point.
Yeah.
As we wind down, one thing I like to end with is your episode. People are listening to your episode. It's over, right? The conversation's over. They turn their radio off or their iPod, whatever it is. What's one message you want people to take after listening to this episode?
On what? Life, business, whatever.
What's one message? If you can hit something home. We talked about a lot of things, a lot of cool things, some more emotional things. Like, what's one message if you have? This is it. This is what I have for you. What would it be?
Be patient.
Well, that's not. It's hard to do that.
It's again, let's back to being disciplined. Be patient. Be patient in business. Be patient with your family. You know, sometimes I have to remind myself, you know, when it's at night and the kids are going down, you know, I'm like, what if this is the last time I get to see them? I'm not as fast to get out of the room and let them go to bed anymore. I might hang out there a minute, you know, talk some shit with the kids, but be patient.
I like that. I haven't heard that one. And
Yeah.
that's something that's hard to do, but easy to do if you just apply it.
Yeah, it's patient to be patient with anger, be patient with happiness,
Patient with failure.
patient with failure. Yeah, patience. And again, it's tough. It is very difficult, especially living this lifestyle where it's one thing to the next. Things aren't going your way, just be patient.
No, that's a good one. And as you say that, like, you know, I've had a lot of death in my family, a lot of death in my friendships. And I have this uncle that calls me all the time. You have that person that calls you and you're like, oh, here he goes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and for the longest, like about a year or two, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. And when he calls me, it's, hey, I love you. What are you doing? Oh, I just want to tell you I love you. That's it. And like, that was like, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then something clicked in me. And I was like, dude, there's going to be a day I know I can get this phone call again.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like something so mundane like that. He's calling me to say I love you and to check in on me. And I'm sitting here looking at the phone like,
Yeah.
bro,
5 minutes of your day.
5 minutes of my day.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be a time where you're going to wish you had that phone call.
Let's say with your parents, your mom,
Yeah.
dad, whatever. Yeah.
Patience.
My dad's like, hey, you want to get some to eat? Yep. We'll work it out, whatever we're doing.
Yeah, because that moment's here for now. Mm-hmm. Everything else you want to do, you know, God willing, it'll be there.
There's that other one. The only people that are ever going to know you worked late and overtime are your kids. I have to tell myself that too.
I'm guilty of that.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the only ones that are going to remember. Nobody else gives a shit. So that work personal balance, you got to do, man. You got to do it. It is like you said, but it is easier the more successful you are, because now you can rely on other people to do what you need them to do, so you can do those things. There's a struggle, no doubt, getting there, but you got to figure that out. And like I said, that patience is a big part of it, I think.
Oh, I like that one. Where can people follow your store if they kind of want to dabble in what you offer and, you know, any of the other 1,000 business ventures?
So we don't have a big social media presence
Yet.
Yeah, we're getting there. But we do have a website. It's just Uniform Outfitters LLC .com. Same, the email is the same, but at Gmail. You know, we have a TikTok and a Facebook and all that shit too. You can probably easily find, but nobody keeps up on it.
I just realized we didn't mention the name of the store, Uniform Outfitters.
Uniform Outfitters.
Go check out Uniform, especially if you're in Erie.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
Stop by.
have to be a copy as far. They have all kinds of cool stuff. Probably won't say the body armor, or will they?
We can. I don't like doing it, but you know, money's green, and there's very few things we'll turn away. I mean, there's only a few things in there that we can't sell to the public, but we try to make it easy for you to spend your money.
There's a lot of options, a lot of variety.
Yeah, I mean, if you like grunt style stuff, we sell their shit.
Maybe we'll find you sold what business did I have that you kind of sold stuff at? That was one of my 50 t-shirt companies I had.
The Spear or
Allied America.
Allied, yeah. We tried that.
Tip of the spear.
Yeah, tip of the spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried that.
Yeah, I sold that. So whatever.
But it was one of those things that didn't work out. And look where you're at now.
Yeah.
So
this one, I like this one.
Yeah.
I get to connect with people.
No, this is fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
I was actually kind of wanted to do this a while back, and if you want to do it next week, I can probably make it work out. or I'll be.
Hey, we'll
I'll just be like a guest. You have somebody else on here. I'll just sit in the corner
Be
and
a
ask
co-host.
questions. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll be co-host.
Can you imagine this fucking guy flying in every time?
We would never leave this place.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like when we sit together,
I'm kind of sad you're trying to end this right now a little bit.
you got a soccer game to go to. We have a conversation to have, business conversation after. I don't want to end it.
Yeah,
I
that's
miss
okay.
you.
Sorry, I miss you too, dog.
We're gonna have to
We can do some bro stuff later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to imbibe in some bevies.
Yeah. Solve the world's problems. Yeah. I like that. I like that idea.
It's always a good time. Well, bro, I appreciate you for. I was hoping to say flying out down here, but
next time.
maybe next time.
Yeah, we got
appreciate you for driving.
Better weather.
2 hours after night shift.
Yeah, I actually went home a little early to get a little snooze in. But
Still,
yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Man.
This is the One with Joe Makowski. Remember the name, remember the face. He might be coming around a lot more. And we are out. Later.
Thanks.